It's an interesting world.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you travel with you and some in some areas, like I think at Dallas, Texas right now, they've had a couple of scandals happen.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep from getting discouraged or cynical about when you see things happen with church leaders and
Yeah, no, you do see a lot of things like that, and you see a lot of really big churches that just kind of use their money to buy more stuff, and have the bigger and better than one down the street, and all those type of things. But what I've tried to understand is that my ultimate assignment is to that guy living on Skid Row. My ultimate assignment is to the person in the community who needs help. And I used to say this all the time growing up. I used to say, well, I'm my own man. I don't need my dad's influence, or I don't need anybody else because I'm my own man. But then one day I caught myself and said, that's kind of like reckless and irresponsible, because if you really want to help people, you will use every tool that you have to do that. And that is relationships with pastors. And so I used to think that, because we're in the urban area, loving and caring so much, I'm the only one who cares, And then I realized that, no, I'm not the only one who cares, And my message began to change from everybody cares rather than a martyr complex. And what happened is it started drawing people who wanted to be a part of that message, and pastors who wanted to give, and they started sending your youth groups out and teams and to serve. And so I realized that if I wanted to give the people of LA who have been forgotten, who have been broken, a voice, and to be able to uplift them with hope, I've got to understand that I need people along the journey to help us. And talking down to them or casting divisions and saying things about what I don't like is not going to help. What's going to help is exposing them to things that you want them to change about. Yes, you have a big church, but you can use that big church to help people 7 days a week and not see Sunday morning as the only destination spot. So I just created a message that, I believe you care. I believe you care. And even if they didn't care, by the time you shook your head long enough and said you care, they wanted to care. And so I was raised in ministry.
That's awesome.
I've heard people say things about my dad as a pastor's kid that were horrific, like being in the bathroom and overhearing things. And my dad would never let me ever talk negative about someone who says something bad about him.
It's amazing.
I said, why? He goes, well, they had a bad day today, but do you realize what they did for me yesterday? They helped me build this building.
Yeah.
And he lives by this philosophy as, it's not what you've done for me lately, it's what you did for me formerly or yesterday. And so he never forgets what people did to bless him.
It's amazing.
At a time where they were maybe in a better spot. But even if they don't feel that way now, it doesn't forfeit what they did for him yesterday.
It's amazing.
So it's very tough, the challenges and the infighting, and sometimes, picking fights just to, pick corners of we're this and you're not that. And I think we all have our special gift and we all have our talents, and just to celebrate that and bring it to the fold of what we're doing is just going to help that kid down the street who doesn't have a place to live.
I'm going to